Hey family, I've got some really exciting news to share with you today. Before I get there, as you know, a few months ago we decided as a church to take a massive next step and plant another campus in the city of Pomona. The reason this is so exciting is because this has been part of our vision for the last 10 years. You've heard us say this over and over again, that the vision that God originally gave us when we planted the church was that we would have a multi-ethnic, multi-generational, multi-site church. And for the last few years, we've seen a lot of that vision fulfilled. As you know, if you're a part of our community, we are today a very multi-generational, multi-ethnic church. It's been beautiful to see that actually become a reality. And now as we step into this new season, where we're seeing the rest of that vision fulfilled, that we are becoming a multi-site church, I can tell you that Sonya and I are more excited and more full of faith than we've ever been about the future of our church and where we're going as a church. And so I'm excited about that. What I really am excited about is during this season, we've been praying and just thinking about going forward, taking this next step as a church. We thought this was the opportune time to just rebrand our church. So I'm excited to announce to you today that going forward, Red Chapel is becoming Verve Church. That's right, you heard it right. We are changing the name of our church. So from today forward, I want to welcome you to Verve Church. And so, Sonya, I want you to talk about why we chose Verve to be the new name of our church.
Okay, so just to kind of tear the veil away a little bit, why Verve? So as we're kind of exploring this, exploring the idea of maybe potentially rebranding, what we did was really get in deep into our culture, our core values, really the vision that God gave us from the beginning. And what kind of came out of that was, a few different name options. And the one that stuck out to us was Verve. And there's a reason for this. So the definition of Verve, what it really means is energy, enthusiasm. There's this movement, there's this vibrance to the word Verve. And that's really what we are coming to make a mark in our communities. And what we want you to know is that Verve, formerly Red Chapel, we are a movement. Jesus wants to do so much more in our community. God wants to do so much more in our communities. And what this is really doing is this is kind of broadening what we already started to do and accomplish, or what God has already started to do and accomplish with us through Red Chapel, and just really expanding that and allowing us to just get back to things like community, be in the hands and feet of Jesus in a very wonderful way. So I just want to kind of give that back to you, Donnie.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like, I was going to say I feel refueled, but I don't know if it's that so much. We have just fanned the flames of the passion that we've lived out over the last 10 years. And this next step that we're taking at church, I feel like this name really symbolizes where we're at, where you and I are at as leading the church, and where I'm asking you to be at as we take this next step that is so full of passion and vigor and zeal to see the vision that God's given us as a community lived out, not only here in Rancho Cucamonga, but also in the city of Pomona. Now, let me just say this. I know that change is not easy. Some of you right now, as you're listening to this, right? Some of you, your stomachs may be turning within inside of you right now, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. We can't change Red Chapel. Many of you have so much of life-changing moments connected to Red Chapel. I know many of you right now, you were saved at Red Chapel. Some of you, many of you actually, that are watching this right now, you were baptized at Red Chapel. We've had the opportunity to dedicate some of you your children at Red Chapel. There's so much sentimental value. I know it's just a name, but the truth is, and even for Sonya and I, there's a lot of sentimental value tied to the name. Red Chapel's become to mean so much to us as a church. And so I understand change isn't easy. We're stepping out of our comfort zone, but I want you to embrace, listen to me, this is a new season that God's taking us into. And I know it's just a name, but I feel like this is the identity of who we are as a church. We are going forward with zeal and passion and vigor into what God's calling us next into. So let me calm some of your fears. Let me tell you some things that are not changing at the church. The spirit of our church is not changing. The culture of our church is not changing. The hearts of our church are not changing. Sonya and I, we're not changing. Many of you have known us for years now, and you know our hearts, and that's not changing. What it's doing, it's expanding. It's growing. It's like the Grinch on Christmas, right? His heart grew 3 times the size. That's what's happening right now is God is just expanding and really bringing into fulfillment the original vision that God gave us. And so I want you to know, that's not changing. Only thing that is changing is we are so full of passion and vigor and zeal for what God is calling us to do. This is a massive step for us as a church. And so what I'm asking you to do is to step with us, right? To step into this next, to step into the unknown, to step out of our comfort zone and into the amazing things that God is calling us to do as a church. So we want to be the first ones to officially welcome you to Verve Church. And so over the next couple weeks, you'll see some things start to change around our campus and our social media and all those things. And I want you to get excited. We'll have all kinds of merch and ways and fun ways to celebrate this brand new season of church. I'm so excited. I'm excited that you're going to be taking this journey with us, that you're lockstep with us into what God's calling us to do. So, babe, for the first time, we can say, welcome to Verve Church. God bless you, and I'm looking forward to some amazing times ahead.